Hey everybody, and welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're going to be taking a look at Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, The Complete Collection Volume 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent. Today we're going to be doing an overview of Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, The Complete Collection, Volume 1. Now, I say all that to point out that this is something different and special. This is what the spine looks like. It's got a Volume 1 on it. I got Volume 2 over here. That'll be the next video. I got Volume 3 coming next week. And then I think Volume 4 is supposed to come out in March, but I wanted to highlight this because this is the Avengers run that I think I've enjoyed the most that I've read. And now I have not read a whole bunch, so there's, caveat to that. I haven't read the Busiek-Perez stuff. I've only really read Bendis from New Avengers on, Bendis's run, and then I read this one, and this followed up Bendis's run. And this was something special, something cool. So it starts here in, I think it's called Avengers World, and then it jumps, into a bunch of other things, and then it ends with the Secret Wars crossover, the second one, that kind of relaunched the Marvel Universe. So I think this was part of like Marvel Now, maybe, but this started, 3 years ago or so? This collection is copyright 2020. Does it say in the bottom when these things started? 2012. Oh, wow. That old. Okay, so way back in 2012, this came out. So Hickman had a long run on Avengers, and then I want to say Jason Aaron followed him up. And Jason Aaron's still on the book currently. And Jason Aaron's run is fun, but it doesn't have the grand epic scope that this does, because this book in particular starts things off with a bang. I've never seen this on, I guess some covers do have them, but it's got the little box down here with the art, the artists and stuff like that. That's nice. So you got Jerome Opena, Andy Kubert, Steve Epting, and Rick Magyar, I think, is an inker on one of those things. So I was flipping through these. I haven't reread this run since it came out in the original comics. So I was reading them as they came out and buying them. I was buying them digitally. So I wanted to pick this up though because I haven't reread it, and I learned that these collections are mapped the way that Hickman wants you to read them, the way that they're mapped, I guess, in his omnibus or something like that, where there are no covers to denote when the issue breaks are. It's just, here's the story as I envisioned it, as I wrote it, with these chapter breaks in here. So I think this is probably like Avengers number 2. I remember reading there was, Avengers started a little bit ahead of his New Avengers series. So in this collection, I think we get most of that first story, and then we shift to these black title pages, which is New Avengers. And this is the New Avengers where the Illuminati was basically the focus. And they were using the Infinity Stones and stuff to shape worlds. And you met Black Swan and things like that. Steve Epting is on art here. He was doing Captain America before this. So that was a very interesting little alert there. Anyway, so yeah, so you got, I think, the first 6 issues of New Avengers, and they do something with Cap here in this, first thing, and they kind of take him off the board as far as the Illuminati are concerned until the later issues. And then we jump back. Here's Andy Kubert with his famous double page panels, which I could never get the hang of because it's hard to tell if you read it this way or if you read it this way, because he breaks them up, and if you didn't know that this was AIM over here and that this takes place maybe a little bit, that it doesn't jive if you jump from Thor and Hyperion over to AIM. You might be a little confused. But I have seen pages of his before where it's clearly like two different pages, and there's still a line in the middle with the panels, and you're like, do I go across? Do I go down? How's this work? But anyway, we're back in the pages of Avengers here, and here's another issue of New Avengers. This is when Iron Man had his black suit. Here's Terrax and Galactus. They're on an alternate Earth here. So this run of, I think this is the Marvel Now run where Iron Man had this black and gold suit. I want to say Kieran Gillen was writing it. I have all those as well. Or I've read all that. So basically the story, goes through here, and then it says cover gallery. And then here's where you get all the covers to the issues and stuff like that. So, yeah, this is the New Avengers cover that launched that book. So I just am really excited to read all this in kind of like one go, in one sitting, all the way through, as much as possible. I mean, Volume 3 is Infinity, and then Volume 4 is Post-Infinity, and then you're supposed to get into the Time Runs Out stuff, and then Secret Wars. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly all that's collected, because that might determine where I'm reading and stuff. But this is incredible, though. The extras back here, these are all variant covers, and they all have a single page splash. Now, normally you might get one or two full variants, and then they might stack 4 or 6, and they'll shrink these images down to something that big. But to see them all here in their full glory, I mean, they're shrunk down a little bit because the main image, if you did buy the variant cover, would take up the entire page, but they have the little white border. So they're a little bit smaller, but that is really cool. And then here's a Mojo World short, I guess, that Hickman wrote at some point in time. Maybe some backups. That is cool, though. But to have all those variant covers is kind of unusual, honestly, in books nowadays. Beautiful variant covers, though. Mark Brooks, JRJR. You got J. Scott Campbell, of course, raking in all his money. Scotty Young, Steve McNiven. Where's this Steve McNiven? Where is he? And where's this Steve McNiven? Because when Steve McNiven has a great inker on him, he's fantastic. And the colorist makes a difference, too. This is Steve McNiven and Joe Quinones. I'm not sure who the colorist is. Maybe that's the colorist. It's hard to tell. But when Steve McNiven is on, he's on. And when he has a great inker, he's on even more. Got Mark Brooks here. What else? Dale Keown. Adi Granoff. I love Adi Granoff. He's so good. But anyway, yeah. So I'm interested to read this and go into it. So if you didn't remember, this kind of run kind of kicked off with this first 3 issues way back here. If we can go into them, with Jerome Opena, and we went to, I think it's on Mars or the Moon. We met the builders here and this other guy. He was like the big bad, and then later on, he kind of reforms his ways a little bit, but just a really cool idea, and they kind of set up in this first issue of an Avengers world and expanding the team, and that's where you get these big like circular motifs of there you go, Avengers, all the different leaders and the levels of the team and stuff like that. I think we skipped past it. Maybe it was on one of these. Here you go. But yeah, so you're kind of looking at this going, well, who's that? I mean, I guess that's Wolverine. Is that Spider-Man? Who's this guy? That's Hyperion. There's Thor. Who's this person? It's kind of like that. Or no, that's Thor. Who's this? This is not Atom Smasher. Smasher or something like that from the Shi'ar Empire. You got the main guys here. This is Falcon. I forget who that guy is. So you're trying to figure out who all these different symbols are for, because it doesn't spell them out. Obviously H is Hawkeye, Captain America, Iron Man. Different things. So it was fun to kind of figure that out. But yeah, this is Hickman's Avengers, and it's all in one run, which I think will become better. I mean, each book up until Time Runs Out really was kind of its own thing, but apparently you were supposed to read them in a certain order, and when they were coming out, you would get one issue of Avengers, one issue of New Avengers. So now that you kind of read one story in chunks and then swap back to the other one, it might make for a better reading experience. So that I am excited about. So yeah, that is your first look at Jonathan Hickman's Avengers Volume 1. This retails for $34.99. And it has in it Avengers 1 through 5, New Avengers 1 through 6, and yeah, this is the Mojo World stuff we're looking at. Astonishing Tales Mojo World 1 through 6. I don't think it's got all 6 issues. Maybe they were shorts. Yeah, because it's not that long. There's no way that's 6 issues, this little bit right here. But anyways, there you go. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment down below if you liked Hickman's run on New Avengers. And let me know what your thoughts are on whether this is the way to read it, or if it's better in the original volumes or the single issues, all that stuff. Let me know down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that nonsense. And we will see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.